write a quick video on getting rid of offending frequencies in your audio signal. A lot of times you'll start to get distortion, noise, fuzz, or a hissing sound in your signal. There's a couple different ways you can go about getting those offending frequencies out, and it's going to require either a gate or an EQ. Let me show you what the signal sounds like with both of those off. That's with the EQ off, and that's with the gate off. Both filters are off right now, so that's with the EQ on. And you can see right in here, right at about 3.7, 3.4 to 3.7, I've got a roll off on the highs. If you look down here, you can see on my spectrum, that's where this dip is. You can see it on the spectrum down here too. Okay, if I take and reset this, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to scrub for noise with an EQ. What you want to do is you want to get your notch filter. That's your filter that looks like this, and you want to roll the gain up, and then you just want to scrub your frequency. So right there it sounds pretty offending. I can hear some hissing. I'll actually back that off a bit to take that noise out. And then I'm going to also do the same thing with this other filter I got here too, just to really get all that frequency out. Now mind you this, that I'm eliminating my vocals in this area, but that's okay because I got kind of a high-pitched voice, and the tone sounds okay to me after making these adjustments on the EQ. So that's something to note, that I will not be able to get these frequencies back because this is a preamp. Basically all my tone goes through this software before it goes into my recording program, which basically means that it's a destructive form. This has to be set in stone because whatever comes out of this software here, which is Gearbox, is finalized. But that's fine. That's how you scrub a frequency with an EQ. Now let me go ahead and show you the gate. A gate, let me actually turn this down all the way. Now you can hear that noise right there that's introduced in there too. Just roll your threshold up and take that noise out. And then once you got your gate set, go ahead and enable your EQ. Make each one of these adjustments soloed. That way you get the maximum, that way the EQ is not affecting the gate and the gate is not affecting the EQ. Get the maximum amount of noise out on each one of these adjustments. And that's a pretty good starting point, you know. As far as shaping your tone, you can always add different effects and stuff on there. But that's basically how to get that annoying hiss out. And then do some recordings, you know, do some dry recordings of silence. Like right now I got my computer running in the background, which the mic is probably picking up on. I'm not in a vocal booth, so my mic is probably picking up the noise that my computer's making. Is picking up actually outside noise because I got an open door on so some cold air can come in here to try to cool my computer down, or else it'd be really noisy. I got probably a cheap $20 microphone, and the best thing I really got going is Gearbox, or my interface and live, you know. So mind you this, I don't have the best equipment as far as a microphone's concerned, and as far as like a vocal booth, having the right type of room to be doing this stuff. and I'm getting fairly decent results, you know. Things that you're going to need to know, you're going to need to know about yourself, you're going to need to know about your hardware, and you're going to need to know about your software, your plugins, all the controls and adjustments, filters. If you really want to blend your vocals nicely to where they're really pleasing. For instance, there's adjustments that a person can make to help out the hardware and the software, meaning if I could speak a little bit louder, I can roll those gains down some to take some distortion out. And vice versa, you know, an EQ will actually help the vocalist out by cutting certain annoying frequencies and shaping the tone of their voice. So each one of those elements is going to help the other ones out. And once you understand more about yourself, more about your software, and more about your hardware, like for instance how your mic responds to the dynamics of your room, you know, there might be little tiny things that microphone picks up, and if you just position that mic in a different way, it might actually make a big difference. So basically it's just tweaking the settings, man, and getting in there and messing with stuff and messing with stuff and messing with stuff until you find out the right adjustments for your tone to get all the noise out of your system, your hardware, your software, all working together in one. But mind you this, once you do your homework and once you figure out how all your stuff works, you're going to have a whole lot better understanding of it. You're going to have a whole lot better vocals, you know, and you'll also be able to just make a preset like this right here. Once you got your shape toned for what you use, all you got to do is just click a button and you go right to that source. There's no more, you've done your homework, you know. So do your homework, study, learn your hardware, your software, and yourself, and then it'll be easier down the road. You know, it might take a day or two or 3 or 4, it might take 40 hours to get your tone dialed in, but once you do, you're dialed, you're set, you're ready to go. You don't have to do it anymore. Or when you do, you just do micro adjustments, and you already know about your equipment. So with that being said, if you want to throw a little bit of spice on stuff, you can add a little bit of reverb. Be very subtle. The trick with reverb is to not notice it, to add a little bit of warmth and expand your tone a little bit with that reverb. But you don't want to know that it's there. If you do, you'd have to listen very hard to find it. And maybe some compression too. This vocal is just basically running through this preamp. I don't have no compression or no reverb on it at all. Compression will blend everything. It'll take your highs and lows and smooth them out so that it won't be really choppy. If you got really high spiked notes and really low soft notes, it will take and blend everything. So, but you got to be very subtle on your compressor settings too. I hope this helps you. I hope this gives you a little bit of understanding on how you can use an EQ to filter out offending frequencies, and how you can use a noise gate to also set levels to not allow those frequencies in.